What's happening, NFL fans? Hope you guys are good. Just a quick review regarding the Thursday night games. We had Lions hosting the Vikings. We also had Washington playing in the nation's capital against the Giants, and the second game was between the Chargers and the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. But they weren't America's team last night. I feel like the Chargers may have taken a few fans from Dallas on the way back to Los Angeles. These three games were actually very good. I mean, when you think about how strong the Chargers came out in the second half, man, Cowboys didn't have any answer for them. Zach just went into throwing picks after picks. You wondering how much the absence of Ezekiel Elliott is actually affecting them. You also have Sean Lee, who is missing in our defense. So even though they had Tyron Smith back last night, they couldn't generate enough offense to beat the Chargers. But I was fascinated by how Des Bryant actually played, or perhaps didn't play. There were a few targets. I mean, there was a back shoulder pass, back throw through to Des Bryant, and in his time with Tony Romo, it's the type of plays he's just gonna go out, he's just gonna go up, body the cornerback and literally grab the ball coming down, throwing up the X, but it wasn't that. His hands weren't even prepared, even well placed, in fact, to actually catch the ball. And you're wondering, is this a guy that's already had over 5+ seasons in this league? This should be straightforward for him. We're talking about Des Bryant, we're talking about number 88. He's wearing Michael Irvin's jersey. This guy has been balling. In 2014, he led the league in touchdowns. But this hasn't been the same guy. I know it's 3 seasons ago, but he hasn't been the same guy. And I don't know if the Dallas Cowboys is going to be able to recover from these losses going forward. You wonder, where are they going to find an option? Whether it's Cole Beasley or Terrence Williams. These guys are making plays, but at the end of the day, they've got to make collective plays, whereby the offensive line has to play a bit better in order to allow Alfred Morris or Darren McFadden to actually make runs. And also defensively, you've got to look at getting DeMarcus Lawrence to get to the quarterback. The guy hasn't had that chance yet, and it's tough. I know Sean Lee's missing, but Jalen Smith, you've drafted Jalen Smith for a reason. He should be able to take over when Sean Lee is not there, but hasn't really been the case. The Chargers, however, I'm kicking myself because I didn't start Philip Rivers in my fantasy team. I thought that Dallas team, he may not have scored, he may have put up at least 20+ points against them, because I thought they would rely heavily on the run game to allow Melvin Gordon and Austin Eckler to have their days. But it wasn't the case. They went out there and then literally threw the ball quite a lot of times. Even Melvin had some good runs, but they weren't big runs. Overall, Keenan Allen made a name for himself last night. Keenan Allen, you have to think, he's only 25, but it's mind-boggling. But this guy can actually bowl. He's been plagued by injuries times after times, but now he's showing that he's worthy of being drafted number 1. And I haven't seen exactly what he did, drafted in the first round, but I haven't seen exactly what he's been able to do in previous seasons. You can tell this guy is a dog. Like I say, 25 years old. There's a long future ahead of him. onto the Vikings against the Lions. I didn't think Case Keenum was going to turn up in the manner in which he did, but Case Keenum bowled out. I've got to take my hat off to Case Keenum. He went out to the Lions and he did what he had to do. He was able to make plays after plays after plays, and wow. Adam Thielen, Case Keenum and Adam Thielen have this chemistry now. It's a bit like Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson. These guys can actually find each other. It's almost as if they have this telepathic understanding of one another's position. And Thielen is making a name for himself, and also allowing Case Keenum to blossom in that team. But another guy that I feel as though he's been overshadowed and perhaps even going to be pushed out of the team is Laquan Treadwell, drafted in the first round. Adam Thielen is undrafted, by the way. But Laquan Treadwell was drafted in the first round. You don't have to be that big body receiver. But Laquan Treadwell is not even up to standard. He's not even up to the standard in which the Vikings expected him to be, or even perhaps his own standard. Laquan Treadwell was the first round pick, guys. I'm telling you, you expected to come out there and a bowl straight away. I know it's not your AJ Green, your Calvin Johnson, your Odell Beckham, your Mike Williams. I mean, Mike Williams hasn't even played yet, or your Kelvin Benjamin. But when you're first rounder, you got to turn up. You got to bowl straight away. But it hasn't been the case for Laquan Treadwell. In regards to the Lions, they were able to try to surmount a comeback, but Mark Zimmer and his defense, I underestimated that defense. And like I said, I'm kicking myself because even the Lions, I had Marvin Jones in one of my fantasy teams, and I didn't start him because I thought it was going to Xavier Rhodes. Xavier Rhodes is one of the best corners, if not the best corner in the league. He was going to be locked down, but Marvin Jones was able to put up to over 20 points in that game. Marvin Jones is a bowler. There's a reason why he left the Bengals, because he believed that he was worthy of being a number one in another team. And I was glad to see him make that move because he can play. The guy can really play. And I've been seeing what he's been doing ever since he's been there. I should have trusted him. But it is what it is. We'll move forward. The Giants against Washington. Actually, last note on the Vikings against Lions. The Lions had opportunities to win the game, but on many occasions, some of their guys weren't up to standard. They would drop plays, drop balls, fumbles. I mean, Matthew Stafford can't be in every position. So this was not a case of the quarterback being efficient. It's just a matter of the rest of the team not being up, not even turning up. But like I said, kudos to the Vikings for turning up and bowling out. Washington against the Giants. I believe the Washington was going to go. I believe the Giants didn't have enough to go against that team. Even though I knew they were also going to run, they were going to rely heavily on the run game. Washington didn't allow them to do that. Whether it was a passing game or the running game, neither of them worked. Ryan Kerrigan and them boys literally came out and pressured Eli Manning. 2 sacks for Ryan Kerrigan. JJ Pierre-Paul also had his fair share of sacks, but that Washington team, if they are able to play like they did against the Giants, against the New Orleans Saints, in terms of first half, and also against the Seattle Seahawks, the worthy of consideration, because Kirk Cousins is going to bowl. Kirk Cousins is going to give you a chance if you give him a chance. And there's a reason why the Washington administration is taking a long time, because they don't know. I mean, they are slightly unsure because they see games where he balls out, like a guy who came out the first round, but then there are other games where he's not there. But these games are rare, and it's probably down as well to the defense, like I said. So Kirk is worthy of a big contract. Is he going to get in Washington? I don't know. He should. If Washington were to let him go, that'd be arguably one of the best mistakes one of the worst mistakes they ever made, since probably drafting RJ3 in the first round. No, that's cruel. RJ bowled in the first time when he was there. It was just a matter of him going to a wrong, playing with a wrong coach that perhaps didn't want him in the organization. But RJ3, for me, it was a decent guy. RJ and Cam were the reason why I got interested into American football. Oh, yeah. Washington is going to do well, given that the Cowboys have lost and they're also beaten the Giants. And the only team they've got to be chasing is the Philadelphia Eagles. They're not going to be able to catch the Philadelphia Eagles, but they can make a place, they can make a run for the wild card, without a doubt, and hopefully secure themselves a place in the playoffs. I believe Washington can go far if that defense turns up like they've been doing. Kirk is going to do what he needs to do. Even though they've got almost over 15 players on IR, they still go out there and bowl on a regular basis as if it's the first team. But this team is worthy of consideration as well. That's my overview of these games. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to drop me a comment, a like, and subscribe too. Thank you.